It's also disappointing that Australian corporates, big end of town, who are impacted by productivity losses, really didn't get involved in the election campaign. They're very quick to get involved in social issues, whether it's same-sex marriage, the voice. They're very quick to get political when it comes to things that actually don't impact on the running of their business. But when it's something like this that is crucial to the running of their business, they haven't really said anything until now.
Well, that's exactly right. They like their feel-good policies. Now, if Rio Tinto supports the voice, so what? That doesn't change the price of iron ore. That doesn't increase the number of tonnes of iron ore getting exported from the country. But if they really focus on the important things, and that's the productivity, then that does enter the bottom line. So I'm really quite disappointed that Australia has changed from a country that was built by Labor workers in overalls, and now it's being destroyed by Labor people in suits. And the companies used to actually have quite a voice in the way in which this country produced, the way in which this country stowed solvent. But now we have a union government, and I can't see that happening. And
the unions are going to be very emboldened now. I mean, we've got a thumping Labor majority. The last time around, it was a very small majority, and we saw how they behaved. So now it's going to be, I think, a free-for-all. Now, it was also a terrible night for the Greens as well as the Liberals. The Greens were decimated, falling well short of the 9-seat goal that Adam Band had set his sights on. And Band himself is perilously close to losing his own seat to Labor's Sarah Whitty. Ian, we've got to say the worst case scenario in this election has been avoided. The worst case was always having a Labor minority government, having to rely on the Greens in a coalition, having the Greens holding the balance of power. Now we've got the Greens really destroyed, particularly if Band ends up losing his own seat.
Well, yes, and that would be sweet justice. And he has been targeted by some groups like Advance, who very, very successfully targeted the hypocrisy and the everything of the Greens. The Greens wanted to bring us back into caves, and here we've got people who are living off the fat of the land, and as Greens politicians. And so I think Advance deserve a lot of credit for attacking the Greens as they did. It is a line ball with Adam Band. I think the preferences were very important, but the postal and pre-poll votes clearly are favouring the Labor Party rather than the Greens. And I think that would be a good thing, because once the Greens were a party that were hugging trees. Now they're quite happy to bulldoze trees to put up machinery made by slave labour in China to give us intermittent power that's sending this country broke. So
it's mad.
Maybe there's a God in heaven.
Maybe. Maybe. The Greens policies and Advance, I think, really should provide a framework for the Liberal Party on how you tackle modern politics, because you look at what Advance were doing on social media compared to what the Liberals were doing, and again, I would have thought they would have learnt from the Voice campaign, where Advance was so effective with their campaign material. Now, the Greens had a terrible night, but in contrast, the Teals did pretty well, retaining all their seats, although Zoe Daniels' seat of Goldstein is on a razor-thin margin, less than 100 votes last time I checked, so there might be a recount there. We don't know there, but she has claimed victory for now. But with all that said, they've retained those seats, but what little political clout they once had in the wake of Labor's thumping majority is gone. Labor Senator Don Farrell said that the Teals can't blackmail us. Well, they can't. They're in Parliament, but they're superfluous. They're just going to be sitting around watching Labor pass legislation.
Well, that's quite right. And the Teals have no policies. They voted with the Greens for more than 70% of everything that went up into Parliament. And basically they were an anti-Liberal Party group. And I'm very pleased that in the seat of Goldstein, your vote for the Teals might have actually had some impact on having Zoe Daniel re-elected. But really, they're totally useless as a group. They are a party, but they're totally useless.
Well, they are, but I tell you, there may be a silver lining with them as well. I think we'll discuss that next time, because we've run out of time. Professor Ian Plimer, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.